Here's your announcements for this week.
Let's start with a recap of last week. On Monday, students had no school, but it also marked the first day of the Sugar River Raider track and field season.
On Tuesday, the juniors had ACT testing and were the only students in the building that day.
On Wednesday night, Culver's had a post-prom fundraiser event.
And then, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Belleville High School presented this year's musical, The Wizard of Oz. Great job to all of our amazing participants and their performances.
Moving on to this week. On Monday, softball season went underway when Wildcat baseball's pitchers and catchers were hard at work with the first official team practices beginning next week.
Then on Thursday, track and field had their first invite of the spring when they traveled to UW-Platteville. On Saturday, they'll head back to UW-Platteville for another indoor meet. Roll Raiders, good job and good luck for all of your spring teams and athletes as they kick off the spring sports season.
That's all for your announcements this week.
Hi Wildcats, the weather for today is expected to be windy with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 29. As for Saturday, it will be a nice sunny day with a high of 43 degrees and a low of 28. Finally, for Sunday, there will be a 40% chance of rain with a high of 46 degrees and a low of 31.
For this week's birthdays, on Monday the 10th, we had two very special birthdays, Austin McKinley and Keegan Dome, who share a birthday with country artist Carrie Underwood. On the 16th, we had Wesley Henry, who shares a birthday with NBA player Joel Embiid. On the 17th, we have Taryn Petro, who shares a birthday with Rob Kardashian. On the 20th, Theron Eichelkraut and SNL's Mikey Day celebrate their birthdays. On the 21st, Charlie Spiegel and Rowan Petro share their birthday with soccer superstar Ronaldo. So go outside and kick a soccer ball with your friends to celebrate. Hope you all had or have a great birthday, Wildcats. Now moving on to sports. The girls' basketball season came to an end on March 6th at the hands of the Cuba City Cubans, who would go on to win the D4 state title this past weekend. The final score was 77-46. The Cats finished the season with a record of 21-6, a conference championship, and a regional championship while setting several new team records. Congratulations to Coach Legal and our Wildcat girls on an incredible season. You all made us proud to be Wildcats. We'd also like to congratulate the following Wildcat players for being named this season's Capital South All-Conference team. Toria DeVoe and Maddie DeSmet both received first team honors, while Nicole Schultz was selected to the second team. Both Addie Edge and Kylie Leitz received honorable mention. Way to go, Wildcats.
Overall, we had a really good season. Obviously, you go into the season, you want to be playing in Green Bay at the end, but only 5 teams get to go home happy once they get there. So, a lot to be proud of. Winning conference for the third time in the last 25 years, and winning regionals for the 4th time in the last 30 to 35 years. You got to be happy with those things. Those are goals that we set going into the season, and we kind of had a target on our back a lot of the times too. So to come out with those two things, a lot to be proud of. We had a lot of not only those team accomplishments, but we had a lot of individual accomplishments along the way. We had 5 players that were mentioned on the all-conference teams. We had set a lot of individual and team records throughout the season. Probably some of the ones that I was most proud of were most assists in one game. That means we're sharing the basketball, right? Most threes in a single game. We had 4 players, I think, that combined hit 17 threes in a game. So those things are fun. Over the offseason, though, we got to take that next step. I told the girls our goals do not change going into next year. We have the pieces returning to accomplish the same things, if not more. So for us, we got to continue to get stronger, get faster, work on our shooting. Those are the kind of the 3 main things that we focus on. And then along the way, we want to become closer as a team and make sure that we're working on offense and defensive stuff in the summertime once we get the opportunity to work together. So those are kind of the main things, and we're looking forward to next year.
Hi, Coach Swenson here. A couple things about wrestling this year. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate our season probably around an 8 or a 9. I'm always looking to have a team move on to team sectionals and state. However, we can measure our success in many different ways. We had a lot of great things that took place this year. Basically starting with the same amount of kids and ending with the same amount of kids is always a great accomplishment. Taking second in the conference is a nice accomplishment. I'd have to say having a couple of wrestlers reach some really big milestones. Brennan Keys hitting 100 wins in his career. Blake Endress hitting 150 wins in his career are really big accomplishments, as well as having 5 sectional qualifiers. Nora Christensen being the first female in our school history to qualify for sectionals is a really big accomplishment, as well as having Blake Endress and Trey Udehoven make it to state. I mean, what else can you say? Blake winning state, pretty big accomplishment. In the off season, in order to get prepared, we do a team camp that we go to every year, and we also have our contact days throughout the summer. So we try to keep everybody kind of fresh on the mat when the schedule allows, and to be able to just keep that camaraderie with the team in the off season. So thank you.
Moving on to boys basketball. The boys basketball postseason got underway as they defeated the Westby Norsemen 74-63 in an opening round regional game. The boys then traveled to Darlington to take on the Redbirds in a regional semifinal game. Unfortunately, the boys fell short to the Redbirds by a score of 50-72. This put an end to the Wildcat season, leaving them with a final record of 10-16 on the season. Congratulations on a good season. Congratulations also to the following Wildcats who were named to the Capital South All-Conference team. Jackson Sholey and Adam Can were both named to the second team this season. Way to go, Wildcats! As we close the book on our winter sports season, we start to look forward to our spring sports season and can't wait to cheer on our Wildcat softball and baseball teams, as well as our Raiders girls soccer team, Raider track and field teams, and our Monticello Belleville golf team. Get ready for what should be a very busy spring sports season.
Here are your weekend national holidays, Wildcats. Today is National Countdown Day. I think we're all counting down to the start of spring break. Saturday is National Goof Off Day, a day to relax and have fun, finally. Sunday is National Puppy Day. Hope all of you Wildcats have a great spring break.
All right, Wildcats, now for your joke of the day. You guys ready?
Yep.
What is Forrest Gump's password?
What?
1 Forrest 1.
Have a great weekend, Wildcats. Claws out.